Hello and good evening. This is Jeff Berger, and welcome to my Holistic Mental Fitness series, where myself and Mupo Entertainment, who I'm very excited to be partnered with, we believe that mental fitness is the new physical health. So, before I get started and bring my very special guest on tonight, if I may, as a certified holistic wellness coach, I'm really humbled to be affiliated with a group of entrepreneurs, humanitarian entrepreneurs, who are aligned with the only holistic mental wellness company that focuses on the microbiome, which is the gut-brain-heart axis health, and the science that's disrupting the health and wellness industry. And I'm actually wearing a shirt tonight, Trust Your Gut, and this is what it's all about. We're learning about gut health and the significance it has with mental and physical, including emotional well-being. So who out there hasn't really, experienced those sessions of, stress, anxiety, or even depression? So with that, you know what? Even suicidal thoughts. I've talked to people with suicidal thoughts. I've gone through them too. So what we do is we really provide real solutions for real people who are serious about taking a look at their health, who are barely surviving, who want to thrive again. So many of us are thriving because we're really understanding the importance of what it is when it comes to our overall health and wellness. So with that, this interview series is really, very near and dear to my heart. And it's all about really sharing stories and opening up conversations that we have with individuals and really helping people understand that it's okay to talk about our health, talk about mental health, because it's really shoved under the carpet for many, many years. We're bringing that out through this series and through our journey. And with these experiences that we're sharing with each other, people become well informed, and that they're really aware and getting information about alternative options that are out there that are safe and work. So with that, at no time in human history have we ever been so advanced technologically and yet so miserable psychologically. And today it's no exaggeration to describe stress, depression, anxiety, and burnout as epidemics, literally the black plague of our modern times. How we feel is not just in our heads, it's also in our gut. And this is what we're teaching. And with that, there's really no physical health without mental wellness, because they are really two sides of the same coin, and they are really vital for each of us, all of us, for our ability to live our peak potential life in this one life that we get to live. So, and this is what we really do best. This is what we're doing. So with that, I'm getting ready to introduce my special guest, but before we do that, as I mentioned, I'm partnered with Mupo Entertainment at mupotv.com. There is an app out there you can download Android. You can download it on iPhone, and you can get access to a multitude of different interview series, podcasts, if you want to call them. These are streamed on Roku, Fire Stick, to access a plethora of amazing people who are sharing tons of information. So we'll be right back with our special guest. Okay, we are back, and I have brought up Kimberly Mahurim. I'm hoping I say that last name correctly, and she joins us from Newport, Oregon. And let's see, so she is a dental assistant at Dental and Medical Staffing, and is also the founder and owner of Method of Hope by Kimberly Mahurim. And Kimberly is a single mom. Her son is Tristan, and she has Tristan is actually living with moderate autism. So, as Kim states in her Facebook, and what she does is ready to go from tantrum, self-injury, nonverbal, and isolation to connected, peaceful, and confident in special needs parenting. Kimberly is going to show you exactly how to get unstuck. So, welcome to Holistic Mental Fitness Series, Kimberly.
Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate that you invited me on here. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So, before we actually get started with the questions, how about telling our viewers who Kimberly is?
Well, my name is Kimberly Mahurim, like you said, founder of Method of Hope. And I have worked with parents of children with special needs now online and in my business for, I think we're going on 6 years now. And this is my first love and passion now. And I've got kind of a big story with my son. He's 23. And when he started out his journey, he was severely autistic, well, actually moderate. And then he dipped into severity with biomedical and functional medicine. And I thought I had really screwed up big time. Like I had lost my window, basically, because it got so bad. And that's what we're taught, is that, if you don't fix this problem or the challenges before they're a certain age, is what we're told, we've lost our window and you're just stuck with it, and it's going to get harder, and that's just the way it is. So it's kind of scary.
Yeah, and that's with so many other things as well, not even talking about autism. And this is something that we're really passionate about, sharing other ways, So let's start out with, I want to start out asking you to share, some of what it's like to be a mom with raising a son who has moderate autism, because some people have heard the term, but they really don't understand what that really is. So let's set the stage a little bit with sharing that with our viewers.
Okay, well, they say the best empathy skills usually come when you've actually can experience pretty similar to what another human being has experienced. So we know that autism is real. There's a lot of it going on now, especially today. I believe it's 1 in 3 children have some sort of, disability, and then it's 1 in 30, I think, now for autism for kids.
Wow.
I know. Wow. And back when I was doing it, trying to get through the journey and figure it out, I felt really alone and very isolated, because you're thrown into a situation that is so extremely hard, heartbreaking, frightening. You're not getting answers from, the medical community that you've trusted for a very long time. So when you get the diagnosis, you go in thinking, well, this is going to be okay. They're going to tell me what's going on, and then I'm going to get answers. But you find out really quickly that that's not the case. And it's still happening today.
Sure.
Pretty bad.
Sure. So just share with the viewers as a mom and some of, because there's different lines of the spectrum for autism. We've got nonverbal that goes up to verbal. You mentioned moderate. So, I have a friend who has a son with autism, and there are different learning abilities, there's different speaking abilities, coordination, things like that. Share what moderate is, because when we talk about full autistic, there's a lot of things going on. And then when we talk about the the verbal end of it, high end, they're able to communicate, they're able to associate and work within their environment in a much better aspect than somebody who is fully autistic.
There's a lot of controversy when we start bringing up this topic, right?
Okay.
and I understand why, and that would be like a whole new show, just that topic itself.
Okay.
You know,
So
but
that's fine. That's fine. You know what? Then maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll bring you on and talk about that, because this is a huge area. So
yeah,
you started to talk about, you've been working with doctors for 20 years, professionals, doctors, psychiatrists, mental health therapists, just to list a few. So share that journey,
I
um,
will,
and, and,
absolutely.
and, and educate
So my take on the
people.
last question, I just want to back up and just, my whole thought is in this journey of Method of Hope is to get the parents to understand the label is a label,
Oh yeah.
and every child has the same basic needs. Actually, every human being has the same basic needs. So what we need to do is figure out how we're going to strategize and get them what they need as a human being. Because once you do that and they feel validated and understood and safe and trust you, they unlock, and then the sky's the limit, right? We don't know what the outcome's going to be because we can't
Sure.
say that, but we
Sure.
can definitely make progress. So now I'll lead into what you're talking about. And the reason why I'm so strong on that with my background experience is because working in the field of taking care of chronically ill people for 20 years, okay, with all kinds of behavior issues, even some self-injuring, sleepless nights. Okay, of course, they're elderly people, but
Yep.
they're people.
Right. Right.
And behaviors are a language. That's what I say. Behaviors are generally thought of as a bad thing because parents don't know how to deal with it, and it becomes extremely hard. But what we need to understand is when we have behaviors like that, it's a language that is stating, I need your help, and I don't know how to get it, and I don't feel heard and seen.
Mhm.
Right? So
Yeah.
behaviors are very powerful in figuring out how you're going to get your child to the best potential. So
So
go
when
ahead.
you say that you build that trust with the child, and they're more tending to open up because they trust you,
Mm-hmm.
you find that that's when things are flourishing a little bit more than most, or is it like a roller coaster ride? You go back and forth and back and forth.
That's another interesting question. And this is where, in one of the keys of Method of Hope, where the parents' mindset and thought process is the most powerful thing, really. It's it sounds like I'm contradicting myself because I tell parents that all 5 keys are equally important.
Yep.
And parents are being stuck in one key, diet, detox, but they're
Mm.
not learning about these 4 keys, right? And if the parents' mindset, if they're not where they need to be powerfully in agency of their own thoughts, what happens is the children pick up on that. And you can do all the neural movements you want, you can do all the other 5 keys, and it literally will cause you to sabotage it, and they'll just be stuck. I see it over and over and over again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
we'll talk about that a little bit later, because
Okay.
I want a little bit more information on that. So you were actually you had talked about, or you had mentioned that there were things that worked and things that didn't work. But you were introduced to a holistic mental wellness company that focuses on gut health, and that's kind of where things started to change for you. Share that experience of, because you've been struggling for 20 years, going back and forth, not getting the right answers, getting some answers, and you were really frustrated. But once you got introduced to a holistic protocol, because as we know, we're both teaching that the gut is the root cause of most disease out there, because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this is starting to become common knowledge. So with those struggles, you came and were introduced to this holistic wellness company who focuses on the gut health. Share with us that journey from when you got started introducing this, not only for your son but for yourself too.
Oh, absolutely. Um, and I want to say, because one of the biggest issues that parents of children with special needs have is, one, codependency. I'm a recovering codependent. I was a severe codependent. Okay. And we are trying to be all things to all people because we define our worth by who we're fixing. Until we realize we can't do that anymore and wake up, that's when our kids grow. But in my journey of gut health, I've known for years, like 20 years ago, that was the first thing I dove into. So I didn't have the mental wellness company back then. So for 20 years, up until now, I have had all this experience. I've used homeopathy. I've used, I want to say, trillions of supplements, guessing, seeing what other parents are doing, flailing in groups and stuff. And what finally happened was when I slowed down all that biomedical and I just quit because I knew I was going to lose him forever. Like that was in my gut, right? Banging his head and all this stuff. It just got worse. So when I slowed down to speed up and just focused on diet, right?
Yep.
He started to go forward. And this is what I see with parents. So if they can change the diet, make it happen. They'll get a few words, they'll start to go the right direction. But what you'll find is if they don't get into these 4 keys, and effectively, by the way, in a specific way, what happens is they just freeze, like they just get stuck, right?
Yeah.
So what was funny about this whole journey of the mental wellness company was I met Dale. She found me and she's like, wow, look what you're doing, and she knew that it would help. And so we just started talking and stuff. And I remember how skeptical I was of this company because I was like, you know what us parents have been screwed so much over protocols. I'm not, I was so skeptical.
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah, and then there's this huge topic of MLMs being evil, right? So I even had that in my head, and I never even really knew what the true definition of an MLM was, really. Right. It shows you how we just follow along if we're not careful. So I looked at her and I said, listen, if this is true and it's really powerful, like you say, I'll go to the website and I'll look at the ingredients, and then I'm going to have to take it first, and my son's going to have to take it first, because in my work, I teach nothing that I haven't experienced.
Sure.
Okay.
Awesome.
Or if I don't have a clear resource or evidence or scientific studies. So basically all of the things that I teach, methodologies and stuff, they're scientifically proven, clinically proven, and evidence-based. That's how I roll. Yep. And this is what I tell parents, that, don't just jump in and do what people say. Ask for the data, ask to see that, right? You have a right to that, especially when you're traumatized, because it's hard to make decisions. You're in fear. You can't make proper decisions.
Correct.
It's really hard. Right. Yeah. So I went up to the website and I looked at it. It took me about 5 minutes. And I was like, it was like a no-brainer. Like, this was the moment where I really realized, gosh, you really do have a wealth of knowledge about diets. I mean, we did 6 autism diets, but I never really was able to give myself credit enough for what I did know, because I was healing trauma and trying to,
sure,
grow and all this through it. So I messaged her back and I said, okay, I'm going to get this right now, and I'm going to get on it because I know I'm having problems. I'm menopause. I'm, working 10, 15 hours a day, blah, blah, blah. I need help. So I'm going to try it first. Within a week, I knew that this was powerful because I had sores on my legs that wouldn't heal.
Yeah.
And I was like, shoot, what is going on here? And within 3 days, they scabbed over and they started healing. And it was a no-brainer to me. I was like, oh, this stuff is very powerful, right? So then after I tested it, I used it on my clients, and they all use it.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Yeah. So many unprecedented results that people are getting and really sharing, and with that, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break here, where people are looking for a lot of support, and they're starting to get outside and look at alternative options. So a lot of people want more motivation and brain health and neuron regeneration, focus on memory, mental energy is being a big topic today. Endurance. People are just so tired today, they're burnt out. and they're looking for a healthier lifestyle. And this is a product that is part of our collection of mental health products that is having really amazing results because it works on the gut and the brain with neurotropics and really feeding the brain the nutrients that it is really looking for. So take a minute here and take a look at this, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we are back, and we're actually, Kimberly, I can't believe that we're almost up to 30 minutes here. So
I
coming,
know, it went by fast.
so we're coming up to the wrap here. So you actually, if you could take 1 minute and share the step-by-step of method of hope that you
Uh-huh.
developed, and it has a 5 key framework, and share
Yes.
with the viewers just a little bit about what that is.
So, in short, in the 5 key framework, first of all, the first key is about the parent's mindset in healing the trauma and how to process emotions properly, right, to heal the trauma.
Mhm.
And this is work that is created by Dr. Caroline Leaf, who is a neuroscientist who has been working on this for 40 years now, almost 40 years. I think she's at 38 or 39 years.
Wow.
Okay. And then the second key is um, what I call the body key, where we do neurodevelopmental movements. Okay. And you do have to pay attention to diet, right? You just can't
Yeah.
ignore it. But this is where Amari comes in as my favorite thing. And why I love so much about it is because I don't believe in coaching parents about diet right off the bat, because there is so much trauma surrounding foods already for many parents that come to me. They've already tried this and that, they can't get it, right? And so um, with Amari, it's not about changing their diet, because I believe that traumatizes them more when they're not ready and calm first. So I want to get the relationship solid, then we move into the food, okay? But you can get Amari in them. I was just really impressed with how Dr. Sean Talbot created the kids pack, for example.
Right.
The kids usually love it, and you can get it in real easy, and then it starts healing the tissues of the gut immediately. Even if the kid is eating ice cream and all the bad things, we need to move slow, right? And once they start getting that in, what I see is they start asking for it, they start feeling the mental benefits, the focus is even better, it's so strong, and they start calming down, they start, you know what I mean? And it makes it easier to get method of hope, that big, powerful punch of progress, like really quick. So I love that.
Awesome.
And so that's in that key. And then key number 4 is community. It matters
Mhm.
who you're hanging out with. And a lot of these parents are flailing around with other parents who are in fear all the time, and they're not really getting answers in these
Sure.
groups and such. And we need to remove ourselves from that. And you need to have a higher power. And the other key is being able to communicate with children effectively so that they understand your heart center, right? Because it's not that we don't love our children, it's just that there's disconnect because of what's going on. and that's why they're in fight or flight. So once the parent learns how to speak to the child, and it's very powerful, then they start developing relationship and calming down that way. And the last thing is the CAT. It's called Core Attachment Therapy by Dorothy Darapelian, a mental health therapist, created this program. And it's where you go deep into the wounds with the relationship between the child and the parent. And that's done in about phase 3 of my program. Once everything starts calming down, then we just keep digging deeper into the program until we're free. They're doing it on their own, and they don't need any more coaching or anything.
Very good. Well, thanks for sharing that. And people can follow you on Facebook, correct?
Yep. You can go to my website, KimberlyMahurim.com, and you can book a call, and we can talk about how this relates to them.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you for sharing that. And we hope that you found value in tonight's interview here. And with that, next week actually I am bringing on, my special guest is Cindy Franks Weschler, and she is a pediatric nurse, and she has actually incorporated the holistic mental wellness platform into her business, and she's having some really, really great results in regards to working with her patients, her as a pediatric nurse. So join us for that next week, and we are going to say thank you to Kimberly for taking time to talk to us tonight. We'll bring you back on at some time down the road because you share some really valuable information. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I got 2 little commercials here, and we'll call it a night. So thank you very much for joining us.